Hey guys, number one Marmaduke fan here, taking a look at Doug TenNapel's Bad Island. I don't think I'm going to do the whole play-by-play. I've been reading a lot of Doug TenNapel books, both for my own amusement and to participate in the Matriarchy's discussions on Doug TenNapel. So I'm starting to get a feel for the types of books Doug writes, and this is definitely in like the graphics, younger audience. Doug's idea for a goofy movie that he banged out, whereas some of his other books are a lot more philosophical. This is kind of like more in just like, hey, that would be a fun Goonies type movie. So I do want to talk a little bit though about how he handled the family. So the basic premise is a family's going on an awful family vacation. They get lost in a storm at sea and they end up on Bad Island. It's one bad island, and it turns out that the bad island is connected to a ancient war between alien races that got mixed up on our planet millennia ago. So, but props, by the way. One of the things I always love about Doug is when he's doing the Doug weird stuff. That always appeals to like the 9-year-old boy in me, like weird aliens, and the weird aliens are giants that carry civilizations on their backs, and the civilizations are like in a healthy parasitical relationship with them, where the little people build robot armor for the big giant aliens, and then the scary ugly bug aliens attack. So it works at that level, but then there's this kind of this cool thing where the alien mythical element ties in nicely with the human element. So the human element is dad wants the family to go on a family vacation. None of them are that happy about it. The wife, since every book that Doug writes is a beautiful love letter to the lovely Mrs. TenNapel, the wife is kind of the sensible one who holds the family together. She knows this is kind of dad being goofy, but she just wants the kids to go along with this because it's important for dad to have quality time with his kids. Janie's kind of a little weirdo girl who likes snakes, and Reese, where is he? Let's find a picture of him. He desperately wants his father to see him as a man. He didn't want to go on this vacation, but dad didn't trust him home alone. So Reese is at that pregnant stage of life where you're becoming a man and you're starting to feel that kind of like that tension where, you know, you're as big as your old man, right? So mom gets some kind of like mystical visions of what's been going on in the alien war. So when they arrive at the island, of course, the family has to come together, and it does a pretty neat job of everybody. Well, I guess the little girl can't do much. So yeah, the little girl's kind of dead weight tactically, but you know, she's a little girl and she's kind of cute and provides comic relief. But the three older, the parents and Reese each kind of provide an interesting. They contribute to survival. So dad's not exactly a survivalist, but he keeps a cool head. Mom is bright and a botanist, so she kind of has one of the first things she notices, by the way, is that the plant life is all wrong on the island. It's not like anything that's been seen in science before. And Reese is a football player, so he provides some muscle. One more thing I'll say about Janie is, you know, what's kind of fun about disaster movies is, you know, how you don't want them to die, but how useful are they? So one fun thing about Janie is even though she's the little girl and she causes a lot of trouble by being immature, she does contribute in a couple neat spots, and the way Doug sets it up is very, very fun. I think Doug has a good sense of how comedic timing relates to adventure timing. I guess the last thing I'll say about the family dynamic is because I think this is Doug writing for a younger audience, and this is Doug kind of like banging out a book. There were times where I thought I'd like to slow down and how to put this. There are a few moments where he slows down and he shows the family and you really connect with them and then you really care with them. I'll show you the best example of this if I can find it. There's a section where Reese asks his dad, I don't get it. How are you not scared? And then dad tells Reese, you know, the most scared I ever was in my life was when you were born and you stopped breathing and I didn't know what to do. And we panicked and we found a nurse and they had to clear some, you know, dried milk out of the back of your throat. And I think Doug has said this is based on something that actually happened to him. So this is like a really good human, kind of like a lot of the excitement of this is how well he characterizes the family. On the other hand, there are kind of like scenes where I feel like Doug is just saying, okay, we got to get from point A to point B. Tension between the father and son. They have a talk. They get through it. Move on to the next exciting monster scene. So, great premise. Really good at characterization. Maybe I just kind of like wish we got even more of the family and the father-son dynamic. This was just kind of like fun, goofy, cool monsters everywhere, with just enough of a focus on the family dynamic to keep me engaged at the level of character. So, fun book. I think boys who love monsters will get a kick out of it, and kind of a really sweet moral of growing up and taking responsibility, almost like they're very prodigal son vibes to the Alien aspect that ends up tying directly, more like it parallels the relationship between Dad and Reese. So really fun. Check it out.